The 3% are definitely there. Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today we have the Sienna whiskey here on my cask from Macallan from the 1824 series. And well, the introduction video of the 1824 series you find here. And well, the 12-year-old I tasted as a 40% ABV and a 43% ABV. And well, I remember the Sienna has 43% ABV, and there is still the bottle from the last tasting here on my cask with 40 ABV, and that is not okay. So we change it against the 43 bottle, and I have to empty the glass. There we go. Some water. And well, the influence of the ABV on the taste is measurable, and 43% gives just a little bit more intensity, and this makes a whiskey typically more demanding. If you're somebody who's used to taste whiskey, sip whiskey, and you're used to the alcohol in the whiskey, then 40% is typically, well, just enough. For some whiskeys not, and 43% gives a little bit more. And this helps that whiskey to come over a certain level of, well, of recognition on your tongue, that your brain says, well, this is better, this is more intense, this is not the typical stuff. And therefore, other distilleries fill also with 46%. Well, this has to do with chill filtration also, but then 48% is coming up, and the first go up to 50%, and there's of course all those cask strength whiskies, and then you start again and say, well, too expensive, we have to start with 40%. So Macallan has in the beginning, in the gold and the amber, the 40%, and here with the Sienna they're starting with 43. And the ruby I tasted here, I will not have a second one. It has 43 as well. Yeah. Now we start to read what the whiskey maker Bob Delgado is telling about this whiskey. He says, this warm Sienna-colored spirit opens with a subtle vanilla nose, persistent yet not overpowering. Orange elbows is weighs in, turning zesty and sharp. Through tempering green apples, add freshness and balance. Next come white chocolate truffle, chewy and sumptuous with elegant oak notes for a digestive. Dates, figs and resins. This means a lot of sherry influence, and therefore this whiskey is darker. Lead in the palate, then defer to nutmeg and ginger, well, more age, more oak, with a hint of oranges and apples. So there's still some young whiskey in. This is the apple aroma, and the citrus zests, but oranges also show this is older. Before vanilla returns in majesty. The final fanfare is gentle, smooth and warming. Oh! So this one is in color, a little bit ochre, darker, and nearly hits the tone of the 12-year-old, but the 12-year-old is a little bit more brownish, not that reddish. So this shows that the sherry character of both should be comparable. The price is against the gold and the amber a little bit up, so it's around close to 80. And well, this was the price of an 18-year-old several years ago. Today, the 12-year-old reaches prices between 70 and 100. So if you still are able to find the 12-year-old on the shelf of your dealer, it should compare in the price with the Sienna. Yeah. The 3% are definitely there. More power, more pressing in the nose. On the aromatic note side, it's quite strong. The strong vanilla note. It's not orange for me, but it's tangerine. Quite sweet. And the apples are on the sweet side. There's very few oakiness showing. And there is a whiff of smoke, but definitely Macallan does not produce with peat smoke. So this is just a association, probably coming from the casks. A lot of sweetness, less oakiness, no sharpness, and the 43% ABV are now very smooth, and the alcohol is close to not distinguishable. So the 43%, definitely sweeter, but also lighter, not that intense on the nose. So this is more settled, older, showing a little bit more of oak, spiciness coming up. Yeah, the Sienna is more modern, more intense, more demanding. But it's also shows quite an age, complexity, and shows from the complexity the way to the 18-year-old fine oak. I'm not quite sure if I had that here in front of the camera. I think so. One of my very, very, very favorite, the Macallan 18-year fine oak. Why the fine oak and not the sherry cask? Because the fine oak is more complex. And the sherry cask is hefty, sherry, 18 years old, dark. It's like the ruby, which is also very, very intense and dark and sherry. So this is, yeah, complex, wonderful oranges, vanilla, caramel, oakiness in the back. And then there are some figs and dates, yeah, showing the older sherry. The 43% showing up now, showing on your tongue. Then a little bit of ginger, spiciness, oakiness. There is a definite hefty amount of oak in it. So this is aged old whiskey. But with a hint of young ones, showing this apple. It's a lot stronger in my mouth than the 12-year-old. And the intense vanilla caramel shows that there are, well, fresh sherry casks from American white oak. Yeah. So the mixture is well done and an excellent whiskey, and whoever says, no, I will not have that, it shows no age statement, you're missing. You're missing a very, very good Macallan. And a lot of people, well, recognized that this series is really good, and Macallan went to a record. I think they had a turnover higher than turnover plus of 11% from 2013 to 2014, and this series appeared in 2013. Yes. Yeah, wonderful. Now I'm through with all those new 1824 series. The Ruby I had before, well, I couldn't wait until this full series to taste the Ruby because the bottle was already open. And what do I think about this series? Which one would I choose? Well, every bottle has its justification to be on the market, and I wouldn't place one on top of each other. So if you have a lot of money and would like to have intense sherry complexity and age, take the Sienna and the Ruby, where you have to be you have to know that the Ruby costs twice as much as this one, around 160 to 200. And if you like more fresher, younger ones, then the Gold and the Amber are the right ones. And I think the best buy from this series is the Amber. Yeah. If you have your thoughts back in older times where the 12-year-old was very, very present, then you should go to the Sienna and be clear that you pay a lot more than before. Yeah, I could remember that the 12-year-old costs 35 euros something, yes. And today it's around 70 to 100, and the Sienna is around 80. So prices have went up, and people all around the world said, yes, we pay for Macallan. And don't be too angry, you're drinking. No, we're savoring for a good cause. This is not a profit-making company, it's a trust. It's a charitable trust. If you'd like to discuss these bottles with me, please do so in our vlog or in our forum on Whisky.com.